Before we proceed further, I would like to give you a brief talk about the WeTel Insight talk show. WeTel Insight is a business talk show series in association with GBF, Global Business Federation of the Middle East, where various socioeconomic topics are discussed. And today's topic is on gold and jewelry of the industry itself.
It was an announced event what we wanted to address the economy, the vision of UAE 2030. Several subjects will be coming on the way. It's the series, and it is the first day, the inaugural day, when in the city of gold we are starting to discuss about the diamond and the gold. So, welcome again, my panel members. The gold is always a symbol of prestige and pride. As long as the investment is concerned, if just a couple of years back, though we should forget, but we can't, which is unprecedented COVID 19. 2019, if we see the gold growth was almost 18%, 19%. To in dollar terms per ounce, it was 1,393 was the average. What was calculated almost 1,400. And my distinguished panel members, having this unprecedented situations where 6 million casualties happened, still the coronavirus is not leaving the doors, unfortunately. But the investors' confidence, if we see, there is still the mindset and the convention that gold is the safe haven. 2020 recorded a 24% growth, if I am not wrong, reached to 1,800 average, but climbed up to $2,200 per ounce. The yellow gold, sir. The black gold situation is different, and certainly we will address that situation as well. You have enlightened today is also very, very important because the black gold, the oil, is really in the golden desert. So, starting from the gold city and my panel, I will begin with the chartered accountant friend who is head of finance general manager from Joy Alucas. Though these situations and this climbing the 2200 or 1400 pre-pandemic and then during the pandemic 2200 and then coming back to 1800 and then still the average 2022 in, until the market closed, I think a day before Friday, that was 1843 per ounce. So these types of the 33% on an average growth from the pre-pandemic situation to this, do you also think that gold is a safe investment? Is it really in high demand? Can we believe the ladies, the beautiful ladies are here and also the ambience of audience is glittering with the gold because those are the investors, the real investors and the traders in the gold market. Is this a real liquid cash? And categorically, regardless in any type of the fluctuating economies and the happening society. So my first request to chartered accountant that how do you see this conventional mindset that whether the gold is a safe haven?
Thank you, WeTel TV and GBF Middle East for organizing this event. It's great to be a part of this panel. Uh, we all know that gold is a luxurious metal that exerts timeless fascination beyond wealth and status. But typically, gold is not comes under a proper investment definition. Why? Because it doesn't generate a return like how other financial assets generate. That is why legendary investors like Warren Buffett and all do not have a direct investment in gold in their portfolio. But gold should be considered as a strategic asset. Gold has a capability of high liquid, which is a good diversification of tool in your portfolio. And this is the only metal in the investment category or investment group which has a two distinctive features. One is this is the form of asset which is in your hand, which is an asset, no longer a liability of anyone else. For example, if you are holding a bond or a currency or a investment of any country or a company, it is an asset in your hand, but at the same time, it is a liability on the other hand. So you are running a counterparty risk where countries are going down, companies are going down, but gold, since it is a commodity of the nature, it can't be printed, so it is like absolutely for forever. And ideally, we should have a person should have 10 to 20% of allocation in their portfolio.
Mashallah, mashallah.
So that is a
The
value.
great. This is, you have summarized that. Although it is a conventional mindset, strategic investment, liquidity, but it is not just an investment. Always the dependency should not be, but 10 to 15%, 10 to 20% of the portfolio of the investment should be. So your opinion. So good. Thank you very much. Now, same time, this platform today is blessed with Siroya Jewelers, the partner of Siroya Jewelers. Platform is also blessed Joya Lucas, Waple Jewelers, General Manager Mr. Praveen. So if I take it towards the investment, I think we should do. But prior to that, I can make out from the audience their faces. They are keen to know that which are the key drivers of gold and jewelry market in the world. So my question begins with Mr. Praveen, if you don't mind.
It's a good evening, everyone. Regards to His Excellency. See, the key drivers of gold market is combination of several things, like uh, the government policies, the pricing structure in UAE, the transparency. These are all the driving forces of the gold market. We have able uh, trade body which controls the gold trade, and which actually contributes much more to the gold trade. So these are all the key drivers of the gold trade in UAE.
So the price point, you mean to say, in the regulatory environment, that is the key driver.
Yeah, for example, the government regulations, government is so supportive gold trade, and along with trade body, which is very able doing promotions, doing so many things, that is the main factor.
So from the board of the gold and jewelry market, the gold and jewelry forum, what is governing the regulation, the board member, the Sverina Jewelers, the partner, Mr. Rajesh G. May I ask you, regulatory is one part, but what has been a significant shift categorically after this global economic social behavior? What is the major shift you are looking in the gold and jewelry market focusing global?
Good evening to all, and Assalamu alaikum, and welcome all the dignitaries and the participants over here. See, as far as the shift is there, see, there are two factors which has come up after during the COVID pandemic. Was the biggest factor was the online, which if we go to see in 2019, the customers were not so keen on buying the jewelry on the online sites and all. That was first factor, because gold has always been a thing like where people want to feel, touch, and then buy. But during this pandemic, the process, what has happened, the people started realizing that the gold jewelry can also be bought online, and which has contributed well enough during this last 2 years. And apart from that, now there has been a new shift which has come over, is the lab-grown diamond jewelry. What has happened is lab-grown diamonds are the diamonds which are grown inside the lab with the same conditions, the environmental conditions which is there below the earth. So basically how it has been grown is they take the first slice of the natural diamond, they
Oh,
place it in the
really? It's a very,
reactors.
very scientific process.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they place it in the reactor with the same environmental conditions with 2200 plus degree of temperature, and on that they make a carbon depositions and they grow the diamond to a rough diamond in the same, and if you see the properties of all that is identically the same unless and until it has been sent to a laboratory. No person or no jeweler can say this is not a natural diamond. It's only a what you call, there are few labs which can say. Apart from that, there are many machines also which the diamond traders are keeping nowadays to find out whether there is a natural diamond or the lab grown diamonds. Apart from that, the customers, I wanted to add two more points what my colleagues have said. Over here, the Dubai or the UAE, we can say the gold market is flourishing. There are two, three reasons behind that. One is the price factor. Second, the range of varieties you get over here. If you see, I don't think so any part of the world you can get such a huge range of varieties of the product, the jewelry, and at such a competitive price. I believe UAE is the cheapest in terms of labor charge compared to any part of the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with the finest quality, and assured purity mark. Like whatever, if it is 22, it is 22, 21, 21, 18, 18. By default, you buy from any store, whether you buy from the smallest store or you buy from the biggest store. You can be assured of the purity of the product. It is only the range of the product you get from a different place to a different place. But as far as the purity, fineness is concerned, whichever shop you buy, whether small or big, you are assured of the quality. That's for sure.
Absolutely, no doubt in that. But herein, Mr. Praveen, I think from Sushila Jewelers, is representing who are expanding the business. And it will be really good to hear from him about this, that varieties and what the tourists are thinking when they come and what is their belief and confidence. So is it really true? Are they say that the making charges, because once I go for buying with my family, I find it very difficult to purchase, honestly, because I don't know what the other markets are charging, but I am finding it difficult to buy. But of course, the gold price is also is a factor. So, but yes, the varieties are there. So, how the tourists are finding it? What category you find this time to expand the business?
So, so basically, in Dubai, making charges are less compared to the rest of the world. Especially,
It's going to be a promotional TV show today, sir.
no,
The
no.
WeTel. Please don't take that otherwise. No. It's good. It is a good message. It is giving good confidence to the audience and to the world, because the millions of the listeners will be watching this TV show today, later on. And this is a message to the world that Dubai is the best and Dubai is the cheapest as well in the trade of gold. So please continue. Please continue. Interesting topics.
So compared to rest of the world, the prices are lower here, and the variety is the main concern because if you get variety, there is a price to it. So if you think that the making charges are higher, you find it difficult. So I think because you haven't seen the rest of the market, that's why you don't know. But the prices are
It is
lower.
unfortunately.
No, sir, the prices are very low here.
Yeah. Thank you so much. But the Joy Lucas, do you concurrent with this talk that you are also charging very less making charges?
I think let us go back in time and let's understand in 80s and 90s the huge population of expat community over here. They were buying gold from Dubai due to three reasons, which my colleague Rajesh mentioned, which is price, because in terms of making charge and in terms of duty differential and in terms of gold price, this part of the world is very cheaper. And second, in terms of variety, because wide variety of jewelers and traders, they bring a lot of design to the table. And last but not least, in terms of quality and purity standards, which were kept very, very high by the government from the beginning. And these are the three reasons where all over the world people prefer to buy from Dubai. And ever since the DSF introduced in 1996, tourists started coming in. And then the regional demand of expat going back to wherever they were, that shifted to DSF and Christmas and New Year time. Then other events, international events got into the system like Valentine's Day and Mother's Day and all. Then the local regional festival like Eid, Akshaya Tritiya, Diwali. So if you see nowadays, the tourist demand and the local demand is there throughout the year, and that is consistently every month people are getting. And nowadays Dubai is the safest place to visit and travel, and so you can see tourists all across every month. And in terms of demand, that is consistently happening. And in terms of price and variety also, Dubai is the number one. I can confidently vouch the state.
A big round of applause for Dubai. Thank you, summarizing. Now I go back to what a small point he highlighted, the innovation in the diamond industry. The diamond is like a test tube baby now. There's no need to go down the earth or drill down the earth or mountains and go to the carbon. The diamond can be created in the laboratory in your house. Probably not in house because might be requiring lot of efforts. It's not the easy task. The temperature what you mentioned. But about gold is still from the mines. And if I refer the financial economical data, 2021, the mining industry of gold was valued in USD $197 billion. And I will like to ask this question because I'm not getting that answer from the analysis that mining industry, when we refer the reports, another 5 years, 2027, what the projections are coming, they still take a 5% CAGR and reaching to $264 billion, the mining of the good. At the same time, if the market price, the commodity price, if we see, it is always double-digit growth in the gold. So it is not single digit. 18%, 24%, 33% is climbing, even 50%. So what is this imbalance? Where that imbalance comes? Yeah.
So when you understand the supply of gold into the system, you can have two different categories. One is recycled gold coming into the market in terms of old gold converted into purified into bars, and then they are reintroduced into the system. The other form is the mining, which is annually around 3,500 tons. And China is the largest producer by far, around 400 tons in a year. And Russia and Australia almost 300 tons, 10% of the market. But if you understand, like any other commodity, gold is also a factor of supply, but not a pure play of supply and demand, because gold prices are predominantly guided by sentiments.
But coming to the situation that where the three players, China, Russia, we all know that pandemic is somewhere or the other that some points goes to China.
In fact, I am of a view that the market will move higher going forward, seeing the scenario, what is happening around. And always it has been that the gold has been always the safe haven, as Mr. Thomas has mentioned. And still we feel that there are a lot more to happen or a lot more to come. It is not only between Russia and Ukraine what we are talking about, but we have to understand there are many other factors which has affected because of this Russia and Ukraine. So this are going to happen, and this is on the way. So definitely I believe the gold will move higher. Maybe from here you may see a gold somewhere around, now it is like trading around 1843, 45 around. But maybe on the low side you can see something like 1785, but I don't feel it as lower than that, but definitely I'm looking at 2000 plus.
A very quick question from all of you, and for the interest of the audience. The world in currencies is digital. The cryptos are everywhere. What is a common sound on that?
We have not prepared so far.
We have also not prepared so far, so not as of now.
Few jewelers in the market who are accepting it, but still we have not explored these possibilities. Because see, again, we all have to understand one thing: crypto is so volatile. If you see a few of the cryptos, like for example, even if we go with the Bitcoin or if we go with the Luna, which was $100, and in no time it has gone less than a cent. So how do you trust that? Okay, for example, if we are given us gold jewelry, we have sold it against the crypto, how do we hedge ourselves with that money?
Our next seminar and the next series will be focused on cryptocurrencies, inshallah. I would like to say thank you again and very warm regards to all of you.
That was a very entertaining and informative conversation between our panelists and our moderator. Another round of applause, please. Thank you.